that I will try and instill in my children, but I don't know. One of the
things, a hard one because I don't want to do too much to them.
Well, it's not just that. Sometimes I think I need to be looking around the bend for the values that my kids will need for the future that they're going to exist in, and not the past that I existed in. And one of the things that I struggle with is, okay, what values that I learned going through the life that I lived are still going to be relevant to somebody going through an entirely different world with entirely different problems and challenges and technology and everything else.
My goodness,
so
this is good.
It's really important to me that I don't just pass down the values that are comfortable to me or that are familiar to me or that I personally find important, but are also going to be important for my kids. Now, there are some that I think are going to be universal. Things like working hard when it's appropriate to work hard. Like, I don't think there is any situation where being able to knuckle down and say, hey, this just got to get done, so we're going to get it done. Like, there is no universe where that's not ever going to be useful.
Yeah.
Like, that's always going to be a value. So there are going to be things where my kid is going to want to cry and quit. And I'll be like, hey, listen, I understand that you want to quit right now, but this is not something you can quit. You got to keep going. And when you come out on the other end, you're going to understand.
I told you I was going to get that tattoo. Channels don't quit.
Hey.
Yeah.
Listen.
Because that, Dad said that on Tuesday night. And a curse. He said that on Tuesday night.
Yeah, I know.
Well, we don't quit no jobs. Not without another job lined up. Like, hold on.
What's wild is...
Now, I mean, things happen. I'm not saying things don't happen, but yeah, come on now.
What's wild
is... Don't let nobody mess your money up.
Well, and listen, okay, because you were talking about how, like, that you getting that allowance really instilled in you, ooh, if I get this money and I just save it.
If I have a little bit of money when I get money again,
like, that feels so good.
That was the lesson I learned. It wasn't that I can't spend. It was that
it's nice to always have a little bit.
It's nice to, I remember, I'm not going to lie, I taught Halia that, where Halia used to say, I'm not broke. I mean, I got a couple dollars left. And I used to tell her, like, but doesn't it suck to not be able to get the stuff you want because you spend yourself down to nothing? You got $6 left. Oh, now I'm getting paid tomorrow. Yeah, but you have nothing. So what if you need something today?
Yeah.
So just save a little on the front end. And then when you get paid again, now you got, you're rolling money.
What's funny is
she ain't never been in no situation where she's so broke or so behind, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It ain't. You had times where you were really struggling.
Yeah.
Halia ain't never lived that life. Like ever.
And the wild thing is, flip side is, like, me, I'm not I gotta have money saved away, but I'm gonna take care of all of the necessities. And then whatever I have left, okay, now I'm gonna be planning all of my special activities around, okay, do I need to do all of this stuff now, or is this something that I can do better later on? So like a lot of times me and Justice plan our like vacations around our anniversary, because
us too.
When anniversary time comes, all of the vacationing, we're going to get it all done. All of the special activities, a lot of times right after vacationing, if we spend a little less than we expected to, like now that's activity money. That's art supply money. Mm-hmm. That's go get, new stuff for the house money. So because we're working on like a rotational system, I don't do a whole lot of like aggressive saving, because a lot of times I save for whatever emergency is coming up. Like that's what I'm doing. So I got all of these pockets of money that are just I don't want to see it, because I don't have the same intentional, like, I'm not going to spend my money to control this. Yeah, let's call it that. I don't have the same discipline.
Control, whichever one.
I don't have the same discipline about spending my money that you do. So
what I'm trying to teach myself right now, right, is, so I do the same thing. I have pockets of money. I have a house account that is not for the mortgage. It's not for anything except for if I break something, or like, let's say, like right now, I think we're going to get I'll order a new box spring or something for the bed. And I think I was considering, maybe I'll take some money out of the house account for that. I probably won't, but
knowing you know.
The problem that I have is I don't want to spend money even when I have it. So
like, I like seeing that number go up.
Right. Literally that's it. Because like, okay, for example, we go on the cruise. I told you I save money every check. Just put a little money away. Yeah. And I do the calculation. Once I book the cruise, I do the calculation
for how much you need
for how many months. If I do X dollar for this amount of months, that will produce. I'm so sorry. That's gonna yell. Door. Sorry, can't do anything about that. Anyway, how many months is it gonna take? And then boom, pay off the cruise. So that when it's time to pay it off, I don't swipe it on the credit card and hope for 6 months I can pay it off. No, I'm not doing that. But the problem is, So what I do is I'll swipe it on the credit card, right, to get the cash back.
Right.
So you just swipe $4,000 or $6,000, whatever the price is,
and then you just take all the money you save and put it
drop it on the credit card. But okay, now I got this account that has exactly or $100 more than I need. Maybe I don't need to take all of the money out. So instead of taking the $4,400 out, maybe I'll take out like $3,000.
And then you'll pay the rest of it all.
And I'll pay it all. And I'm like, Aaron, you have the money. Why not just pay the card off so that you... But me, I'm learning, like, that's Terry here to paint the porch. Mm-hmm. Because Terry's like, oh, yeah, you wanted to get your porch painted, right? I'm like, yeah. But I'm like, I really want to pay and buy paint and pay all... And I'm like, Aaron, you want to get the porch painted. Just do it. You have the money. Just get the porch painted.
Don't be cheap.
You don't got to spend $1,000, but you have the money. Get the porch painted. Like, and I literally have to force myself. Like I just said, I don't even want to say out loud that we need a box spray. I don't even want to say it because that will tell me that okay, I'm going to go spend $150 and buy another box spray.
It's so I think this is a good place to close too, because one of the things that me and Justice have been talking about lately is we treat all addictions like to substances. I think in general, most normal people treat them the way that they should be treated. Hey, listen, like you got a medical situation going on. You are telling me you got to have 4 beers a day. That's not normal.
No, you have a problem, sir.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to you shouldn't be in a position where if you don't have this, like your life is diminished. Okay. Nothing outside of like family and social interaction should be a requirement. And obviously like food and air and, things.
Yeah, normal stuff.
But a lot of times when you are addicted to other things, people like it doesn't register. So if you're addicted to video games, like that might not register as an addiction for some people. If you're addicted to watching that number go up, like to money,
right?
People don't treat it like what it is. And I think a lot of
I vacillate on that. So sometimes I can't tell if the reason why I am the way that I am is because I am afraid of the catastrophic happening, or if it's an addiction to having the money, right? Because sometimes, like for example, when Halil was in the hospital at that time, you might remember this. This was years ago. That ended up costing $4,500, and this was after the insurance. It was a $50,000 thing, and insurance paid almost all of it, but she had to pay. Well, we had to pay about almost $5,000,
right?
And I don't want to be in a position that it's like, oh, sorry, can't do it.
Well.
You know what I'm saying? So like that is also part of my fear.
Here's something that was said to me. Well, not said to me. Here's something that I saw in a video recently that has kind of sat on me since I saw it. Really, really wealthy people go bankrupt semi-regularly. They just declare bankruptcy as like a way to reestablish their money situation. So they'll put all their stuff in a trust, declare bankruptcy, get rid of all their debts, go get their money back out of their trust and continue on like nothing happened. Thinking about it from that vantage point, what I have started to come to realize is the way that we, and when I say we, I mean like people in our social and economic class, and maybe even in like the Black community, right? We do not treat money like a thing that is actually just a tool. It's a lever. It should not be an in and of itself. The money is only there to represent all of the things that you can do either for yourself or for your family or for other people. So I think when we need to start treating it like an addiction is when the opportunity cost of you having all of that money for yourself versus all of the other people that could be like helped in tangible ways, and you still get everything that you need to have and a bunch of the things that you want to have. You every year you end the year with $1 million in your bank, and like there are a bunch of people around you who are starving or not having, or they need a surgery or they need cancer drugs. And like, you're like, no. I need to keep this $1 million in my bank. Cause what if something happens? What if I want a Lamborghini? Like I think needs to be looked at more and more as, is there something wrong with you? And I really
for the record, I don't have $1 million, but I feel you. I feel the point. No, I take the point.
And again, because that's all relative. Like if everybody is making $100,000 a year, $1 million ain't that much money in the scheme of things. It's not. So, it's not. But everybody ain't making $100,000 a year. So when I see somebody who's making $500,000 every year, and they're still like, I don't want to pay taxes, I start looking at those people weird because the value of the money that you are hoarding at that point, when there are other people who have needs that are not being met, it's one thing if everybody has all of their needs met, or the majority of people have their needs met, and the people who aren't having their needs met, it is some specific individual thing that they're doing that's causing them not to have their needs met, and they are okay with it. Because there are people who don't need houses. They don't want to live in a house. They want to be nomadic. They just want to travel around and couch surf and do that. Like, there are people who enjoy that sort of lifestyle. More power to them. But for all the people who want a house and can't get it, I think societally, community-wise, we need to start looking at treating hoarding as the problem that it is. And I hope that, like, when me and you look back on our experiences through life, a lot of the lessons that we get help us, empower us to take care of the people around us. Not always, it's not perfect, right? But a lot of the things that you do, like the ways that you hang out with granddad, the ways that you show up for the people around us, a lot of that is informed by you coming up and seeing the stuff that you saw and experiencing it the way that you did.
Yeah. And I think hoarding is kind of a dangerous thing. And hoarding isn't just, I have a lot of stuff in my house, right?
No.
So
I think hoarding money is a real problem.
And that's why I say, right now, what I'm learning is, even though this is probably the first time in my life that I feel like I've actually had money,
you have enough to be like, maybe
I can go get the porch painted,
right?
Just because, like, not just because it needs to be painted, but like
you're officially middle class now. That's what it means.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's what that is.
Lower middle class.
Hey,
but the point is, I am learning right now. Like, and Halil had a big part of this. It's okay. Things are fine.
Justice taught me the exact same
thing. You can, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm serious, and I guess we can end. But I really do worry sometimes. Like, oh no, $6,000 bill. We need to have $6,000 in the bank. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of stuff, and it worries me because Halil just will roll over and say, "Well, can we afford that?" And I'll be like,
I mean,
like all these years, the answer has slowly progressed towards yes. From no, we can't afford that. Now we're getting to that point where
it's like,
maybe we can't afford that. Like, give me some time, but I got you.
What's funny is Justice. So I was always in a we ain't got no money sort of mindset.
Me too.
Okay. Part of the problem was we really genuinely did not have any money. Okay?
Yeah, us too. But I told you that we now are like, I know a couple dollars.
That's my point. Is like reality was agreeing with me. It was not agreeing with the things that Justice was saying to me.
I was like the Batman of money. If you give me time to prep, I'll have the money.
I was like, can you please make this make sense?
I was like, talk about coming around the bend.
Right. Like, what, you got a grappling gun? Like, I don't understand. But yeah, like, Justice really sat me down one day and she was like, listen, like, I understand that you're concerned about us not being able to pay for stuff, but like, you got to relax.
Yeah, you can't be so concerned about it
that
we don't buy anything.
And you're making everything unfun because you're so stressed out. Like, it always works out. It's always okay. We have enough to take care of the stuff we got to take care of. And this other stuff, we'll just have to figure it out. It'll be okay. And I was like, you're kind of right.
Talia doesn't like it when I say it, but she taught me that everything's fine.
Yeah.
Like, she taught me that you don't have a perfectionist problem, right? And I have a problem where I want to do right so bad that I will
overdo it.
Do right. Like, one thing that drives me crazy is when she tells me something and then I do it and then she's not satisfied. Like, I can't function.
Listen, I understand.
And being a husband, that's like 80% of your job.
That's like, I hate it when Justice asks me, like, hey, or no, it's not even ask. Because what she'll do is she say, ooh, I really got to do X, Y, Z. And then she starts making a list. And we've talked about this before. I do not like having unfinished lists just hanging out there.
Yeah.
It gives me stress. So, like, if I start making a list, that is a list that is getting done in the next hour to 3 hours.
How do you think I'm living right now? Aaron, I would like to eat this. And then I make it and then, ooh, I can't eat that.
And then you're like,
Anyway.
So she'll start making a list and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. She's like, I'm not asking you to do anything. I'm like, so why are we talking about it right now? Why are you saying it out loud? She's like, well, I just wanted to make a list for later. I'm like,
you hate me, don't you?
You don't love me. If you are making a list out loud in my presence and you don't want me to do anything about it, why? Why are you torturing
me? It's because you hate me.
Obviously.
But,
But no, in all seriousness, like, I am slowly but surely coming to understand that a lot of the ways that we came up empower us to do a lot of things that other people can't do. But we still have to continue to learn and continue to incorporate new information.
That is also true. I think, and maybe next time I would like us to dig into, you said something about addiction earlier. We should talk about that.
We should.
And also talk about what lessons we do want to incorporate into the next generation.
Yeah,
so
because there's gonna be some stuff that I do not want them messing up. Like,
And
I need y'all
yeah.
to get this lesson.
There's gonna be a lot of things that our parents taught us, that our grandparents taught us, that it's like, no, we have to include that.
Right.
But there are also going to be some stuff where like I'm not teaching my kids that. I don't want them to feel that or say that or think that.
Right. Because it is outgrown its usefulness for whatever it was that it was instilling us for.
So y'all look forward to that next time.
But anyway, this has been the Pensive Brother Podcast. I'm Elliot.
This is Aaron.
And we are out.